Hello and welcome to our YouTube channel. My name is Michelle, and in this video we are going to discuss creating name tags from your class registration. So let's go to your admin homepage and log in. Once here, go to the side menu to Classes. Then we're going to go to Class Registrations. And then we're going to click on Choose Filters. At this place you can do several things. What we're going to do in this video is we're going to filter out the registration type here to do students, and then we only want to do the registration status of those who are signed up. Then hit Apply Filter. Once you've applied your filter, click on the top icon for exporting filters here. This will open up into a CSV document, and what we want to do is we want to check it to make sure the columns are all in order. So let's expand out our Excel document. And what you'll see here under class start time 1, that one of the times are listed as 10 a.m., which is the second hour of this co-op. That's because Ricky Ball does not come in for the first hour. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that everything lines up properly. So we're just going to insert some spaces here. So we're going to highlight all the way to the start time. And we're going to click on our right button of our mouse and we're going to say Insert. And then we want the cells to move to the right so they go under the class start time 2. So let's check Shift Cells to the right and then say OK. And notice it moves over. So we'll do the same thing here. We'll highlight, we'll click right button on our mouse, say Insert, move all the cells over to the right. So now they're lined up. Now this co-op is only meeting on Mondays, so I'm going to go ahead and take out the class days 1 here, and I'm also going to take out the class days 2. So I'll highlight the G row, I'll hold my control button down and hit K, and then I'll hit my right mouse button and hit delete. And it moves everything over. Once everything looks good, we're also going to remove the ages because I don't need that for my name tags. So I'm going to highlight C, right click and hit delete. Okay, so I think it looks good. We have our student's first name, last name, first name. Now if you want to switch that, you can, but it doesn't matter because when we go into a Word document, we're going to be able to choose which one we want to go first on our label. So it's totally fine the way it is. Then we have our class start time 1, we have our class title 1 here, and then we have the class location. So sometimes groups will put the location as the church or the building that they're meeting in, but we all know where we're meeting, so the location is a great place to put the room number that the students will be heading to for class. Okay, so once this is done, we're going to go ahead and save it. And you want to make sure that you save it as an Excel document. I'm going to say Save As. Okay, so right now it's being saved as a CSV. Now you could keep it that way. I usually don't. I just put it in as a Excel workbook. I don't know what would happen if I saved it as CSV, but you can test it. And then I might just say name tags, and maybe I'll put the year in here too. All right. And then I'm going to keep it in my downloads. I'm going to save it, so make sure you know where it's going to. We'll save it. Okay, once we're done with that, we're going to go ahead and minimize this. And I'm going to take you to a new document through Word. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be merging your Excel document of names and all the information for the name tag into a Word document. So we're going to show you how to do that. Okay, so we're going to go to Mailings at the top, and then we're going to click on the Start Mail Merge. And you're going to choose the step-by-step mail merge wizard. This will walk us through each step of the way. Over here on your right, we've now opened up a menu, and this is going to walk you through. So this is the wizard. We're going to choose Labels, and at the bottom where it says step 1 of 6, we're going to click on Next, starting the document. So here we're going to choose our label options under Change Document Layout. So let's choose our label options. And I'm going to go ahead and choose what I have here. This is a clip style name badge insert. It's 3x4 name tags. So I'm going to go ahead and say OK. And you can notice here on the screen that it breaks it down to 6 name tags per page. And this is what we use in our co-op. So at this point, we're going to go ahead down to step 2 of 6, and we're going to click on Next, select Recipients. So under Use an Existing List, we're going to click on Browse. And this is where you're going to find your document that you just saved in Excel. So I put mine under Downloads, and it's Name Tags 2020. I'm going to double click that. And what it does is it says, is this the one you want? I'm going to say OK. And then it shows me my document. It shows me all the information I have. I can see student names, the class times, I can scroll over, and I'll see more of the Excel spreadsheet. So at this point, if you're starting fresh, you want to keep all the names checked and say OK. All right, here we go. Now, what it does is it sets up the data fields. But what we want to do now is we want to create the name tag the way we want it to look. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use my space key to go down. Oops, not like that. Hold on. Let me go up page. Okay, so I want to make sure I'm not at the very top because it's making the labels go down. So I'm going to go down to space. I'm going to hit enter, and I'm going to add a table for my name tags. So I'm going to take you up to Insert on the top menu. Click on Insert, and then I'm going to click on Table, and I'm going to choose how many columns and rows I want. So currently, this is just an example. We only have 2 hours worth of classes, so I'm going to choose 2 rows, and we have the time, we have the class name, and we have the location of the class. So I'm going to choose 3 rows, or columns, I should say. And there we go. Okay, so now at the top here, and I may want to bring this down just a little bit. There we are. I'm going to now want to insert and arrange the labels the way I want my data to come over. So we're going to go over to the right to step 3 of 6, and we're going to hit Next, Arrange Your Labels. Okay. Now what we want to do is we want to update our labels to include the fields that we want from the Excel spreadsheet. So we're going to click over here on More Items. So when we click, it brings up all the labels of the Excel spreadsheet. So at the top of my label, I want the first name and the last name of the student. So I'm going to double click the first name, then I'm going to double click the last name. And then I'm just going to say close for a moment and talk about this. So right now we have first name, last name, but there's no space in between. So I'm going to add a space in here. And I want this to be centered, so I'm going to highlight it. I'm going to go to my Home menu, and I'm going to choose to center my name. And I want it to be bigger. So I'm going to use my font, increase font size. So I'm going to enlarge it to a size that I want. Don't worry about it going to the next line. It's just because there's a lot of verbiage in here. And then I'm also going to bold it. There we go. So now we have student first name and student last name. Then we're going to go into our first column and first row, and this is where I want to put the time. So I'm going to go back over to More Items and click it, and I'm going to choose class time. This would be the time, so I'm going to double click it and hit close. I'm going to go to the next column, and this is where I want the title of the class, so I'll go back to More Items, and I'm going to do class title, double click, and then go back to More Items, and the last column is going to be the location. Now I don't have to double click, I can just click it and hit insert and it goes, but then I have to hit close to see it. Oh, and look, I put it in the same column, so let's delete that and go over to the third column and do that again at More Items and class location 1. We'll do the same for the bottom. Go back to More Items, choose class start time 2, next column, class title 2, and the last column, class location 2. There we are. Okay. Now, I'm also going to take this table and I'm going to make sure it's centered. There we go. So I center the table and I center the names. To center the table, if you click on this plus icon, it highlights the whole thing, and then you would just click on center. Okay, so once you have your label set up the way you want all the labels to look like that. So over here under replicate labels, we're going to click on update all labels. So let's do that, and it updates the labels. Alright, so now we want to see what it looks like. So at the bottom, step 4 or 6, we're going to click on preview your labels. And here we have our labels. And you can kind of check it and look and see what it looks like. And if it looks good to you and you like what it looks, now you can see Ricky Ball's not coming first hour. Okay. And so what I like to do is I like to edit my labels a little bit if I need to tweak things, because you can see it says 9:00:00. So you can either tweak it, but if you have a lot of kids, what you're going to want to do, and let's go back to your Excel spreadsheet, is when I click on the time, you can see what it says, and that's what's pulling it over. So what you could do is you could type in apostrophe 9:00 a.m. and then copy it into your other. That way the if I just put in 10 a.m., I don't think it takes, oh, it did take it. No, it didn't. See, it does it again. So you have to have that apostrophe 10 a.m. There we go. And then let's copy that down and we'll save it. Now, if you didn't do that prior and you got to this part, you can actually go back. So let's actually do it. Let's go to the previous, arrange your labels, and go back previous again. Select a different list. It's in my downloads. I'm going to choose it again. I'm going to say OK. Say yes. Okay, and now I'll arrange my labels. And here we go. So now the 9 and 10 o'clock are now just normal without the seconds. Okay, so sometimes I do want to edit. You could go to the next section which says complete the merge. So let's complete the merge. And you can do several things under merge. You can print, or you can edit individual labels. So I want to go in here and edit a little bit. So I'm going to go and click on edit individual labels, and I want all of them. So if you were just editing one label, like maybe a student had a change, you can come in here and edit just one label. Okay, so let's say OK, and it will open up to a brand new document. And at this point I might look it over and say, you know, I'm just going to kind of put some little hyphens in here because they're not here. Maybe I want to center those, and everything looks pretty good. Oh, here's Michelle Brown. We'll do the same thing, so I'll just copy what I have here. There we go, and we'll center it. There we go. So my labels look pretty good now. And at this point, you can save this final document as the final name tag. So I would say File, Save As, and maybe I'll put 2020 Final Name Tags. Save it. And then you can print it. I'm going to go ahead and close this document. Now on the merge document, you're going to want to give it a name that you could come back and do more name tags if you want, or you can use parents if you have a download for parents. So when you save this document, make sure you give it a name that you're going to remember. So what I've done is I would say 2020 name tag merge document. So I know that that's the one I'm going to use to merge different name tags if I'm going to do parents or if I have new students coming in. Again, if you have new students coming in, let's go back a couple steps here of selecting a different list. You can come in, you can choose your new list. Now it's going to have everybody in there, but once you choose it here and say OK, you can literally go through here and find the name. Okay, you don't have to do all of them. You can just do the ones you need. Okay, if you have any further questions regarding creating name tags, you can click on your admin homepage, and once you're there, you can click on create a ticket and let us know where you need help.